moving on swiftly to another person who's talking about children, in the sense that y'all are too young to be getting married. Kamene Goro has spoken about the story multiple times on multiple occasions about her journey in journalism and eventually her journey in media. She's mentioned that beforehand, she was in a really good career. She was a TV host. She was actually a TV host formerly on this station. And then she moved on and got married to this man who ended up becoming the worst nightmare she can possibly imagine. And ultimately, they ended up separating and she ended up back in media. But according to her, she claims that sometimes we're always running for things that aren't for us. And in her own words, this is what she had to say. Kamene Goro said that I have been through 1 or 2 heartbreaks. I cried for 2 days before I prayed about it. God helped me out with it, or God helped me through it. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Him. She even continued to say that I was crying because of the time that I had wasted. I cut my career short by 3.5 years. Do you know how many things I would have done by then? Or do you know how many things I could have done? And I completely understand. First of all, she was 23, okay? She was 23 years old as she's getting married and losing herself to love. Someone who she thought and trusted to be the man of her life ended up to be the nightmare of her life, which is sad, but it's a story that we've all seen. It's a story that we've all heard of. These are not this is not new information, sadly, so to say, right? But a lot of people are still very quick to get into relationships at this age. Trust me, I was one of those people who was willing to become a full-on girlfriend by the age of 21. Why? Because it just feels like that is a romanticized version of a relationship. You meet, you fall in love, they fall in love with you, and then you live happily ever after. But in between the happily ever after, you've lost out on your 20s, experimenting, figuring out who you are, all the experiences that you would have had being single and dating and getting heartbroken and all of that stuff. The whole experience, the whole package, it gets lost on you simply because you're so willing and so quick to settle. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. In Kamene's case, it did not. But I still completely agree with her in this particular case. It's 100% okay for you to fall in love. But once you realize that you're in the wrong relationship, it's also 100% okay for you to exit and go back to your life. And she is a testament of that. She had lost out on time, but she still went back into radio, and look at her killing it, you know, being one of the most respected radio hosts in the country. So there's never a time not to go back. You can always turn back. The clock of time, simply because it's gone a little further ahead, doesn't mean you can't catch up with it and start afresh. So that's my statement today. Start afresh. It's okay.
I also feel like we're very quick to say that women trap men into marriages, women trap men into relationships, but there is a very high possibility like she was also trapped into a relationship, into a marriage. I have met, like, when I was, very young, you're 21, you meet a 40-year-old man, and all of a sudden he wants you to settle down, he promises you heaven on earth, all these manipulation tactics, just so you will settle down with them. Just so you become a wife, you become a trophy wife. Especially older gentlemen, you guys need to do better. You divorcees, you just want a trophy wife, someone who will look good on your arm, someone who will sacrifice themselves in order to be in a relationship with you. So you need to stop. Don't do that. And for you baby girls, your 20s are for you to enjoy. Your 20s are for you to explore yourself, to figure out what you love doing, to figure out your type in men, because sincerely, your high school boyfriend is not the man you're gonna marry. It happens maybe once in a while. Yeah, people fell in love in high school, they got married at 21, and their success story in their 40s.